There have been some great Marvel television shows. WandaVision and Ms. Marvel both stand out for me, but I'm sad to report that Ironheart isn't one of them. Let's talk about it. You'd think that the pedigree of coming from the Black Panther films, having connections to Iron Man and a little bit to Doctor Strange, Ironheart would be a very fascinating and complex and action-packed television show for the Marvel television unit. And there are definitely signs that this could have been something cool and something special. Later on in the season, it actually does pick up some steam and it does get a little bit interesting. And I'm not going to spoil any of that. But man, I found this show to be so incredibly dull and tedious. And it's not because the performers weren't ready to come to play and they didn't do a good job. Like Dominique Thorne as Riri Williams is terrific. I liked her in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. And I like the character of Ironheart, this young, brilliant person that decides they want to build an armor and to contribute to society and sort of reach their full potential and become a superhero. It's pretty damn cool. And I also like that there's much more sort of connection to the grounded real life and the realities and some of the trauma that Riri Williams has gone through in the past, and it's super connected to her life in Chicago. And I liked all the shots of Chicago and employing Chicago as a bit of a character in the show. But it's so stuck in mud, this series. It really doesn't move quick enough at all. It's a lot of build-up to create all of these different side characters that are part of the Hood's gang. And the Hood is played by Anthony Ramos, who I usually love, but in this he's really hamming it up and he doesn't have a lot to work with. And so what we do is we're introduced to these kind of Robin Hood-like characters that are stealing from the rich and taking for themselves a little bit. They're committing crimes, but they're basically sticking it to the man. And Anthony Ramos's character, the Hood, is in charge of all of these gang members, and they're all sort of larger-than-life characters that can hack into things or beat up security guards and stuff. But we spent a lot of time in the Hood's hideout, and it just looks like a TV set. And it just doesn't feel as big or as elaborate or as satisfying as we've seen a lot of these MCU creations in the past. You can feel the ceiling on the budget, and it sort of is presented over and over again. The stakes aren't high enough. These crimes that these characters commit aren't thrilling enough. It doesn't really feel like an interesting caper. And so when some of the characters do run into consequences and some of them come onto the screen and then they disappear, sometimes off screen, and there is no weight to why they have disappeared, it's kind of silly. Alden Ehrenreich also pops into this show, and I like him as an actor. He's very natural and charming. He's very grounded. He's kind of always fun to watch. And in this, I think that there's tweaks of that personality that pop through, but again, a little bit wasted and a little stakes-less, a little less consequential than you want it to be. There are some surprises that drop in and some big league Marvel threads that are proposed in this show, which do get interesting. Maybe a pretty major actor drops into the show, which kind of perks your interest a little bit more. I don't want to spoil too much, but it is a long haul to kind of sit through this and wait till things do get interesting. I can tell you that when Regan Aaliyah's character comes into the show, and I don't even know if I've got any footage to show you guys, but she's really good and she's got this really cool charm and her whole setup is intriguing and it does kind of juice this. I also like that there is a new AI counterpart for Riri Williams and there's some creativity infused in that creation, and the performances are solid there as well. There's a lot of heart. You can certainly feel that there's a lot of heart and a lot of effort to try to make this something special. But I kept thinking about Ms. Marvel and how that was continuously surprising and charming and showing us a whole kind of world that we have never seen before in the Marvel universe. And it was just a fantastic show. I really love that. And of course, I really had a great time with shows like Moon Knight. I like Daredevil Born Again quite a bit. I love WandaVision. I thought Agatha All Along was pretty solid. Hawkeye was pretty damn good. I thought even Falcon and the Winter Soldier was pretty solid as well. I think this is kind of bottom of the pecking order for me. Like, I just really wasn't entertained enough. That's really what it is. You put that Marvel branding on this, you put a character that kind of evokes Iron Man's powers and had a pretty front and center position in the last big Black Panther movie. the expectations are pretty damn high. And this just felt kind of run-of-the-mill. It honestly didn't even feel as satisfying for me as some of the CW superhero shows. I much preferred watching episodes of The Flash or Supergirl. Even Black Lightning was a lot more interesting for me to watch. I've watched a lot of these superhero shows because I love superhero entertainment. And this is just flat. It's not Secret Invasion terrible, but it's just so sort of middle of the road, you know? I can't help but just feel disappointed. So I'm not going to give this a big recommendation. I'm going to give Ironheart a 5 out of 10.